platinum artists getting stabbed in the head at concerts. We got apps where it's ran by law enforcement and they just basically sit back and listen. You know, these like Clubhouse and these apps where people talk about crimes and things like that is pretty much like the reason why they flooded the community with semi-automatic weapons, because semi-automatic weapons leave casings. Could you imagine if the semi-automatic weapon was not created and they stayed with the revolver, meaning they didn't just have to have a shell. They had to find the entire gun. Big difference. So the semi-automatic weapon is the deal breaker. Why did President Joe Biden go on record and say we're going to ban ghost guns? He didn't go after the NRA or anything. He said these ghost guns, you know, there's a shooting and ain't no evidence. Come on, man. Look how crazy this stuff sounds. So now the ghost guns, you know, clearly there's no evidence there. So the semi-automatic is they come with these shell casings and it's hook, line, and sinker, and we fall for it. So moving forward, this is why leveling up is being replaced with high value, because high value is a lifestyle. Leveling up is just a concept. See, our baby boomers give us, you know, theories that make sense in conversation, theories that make sense in conference, theories that make sense in gatherings and group gatherings and, you know, fundraising, things of that nature. But when is it going to affect the community? Now, before we affect the community, we're going to have to inject the community with something better than what's there right now. And this is why we are in the fight to actually change this United States, change the world, really. And finally, a generation has to step up and take ownership, because they are trying to skip us. I'm not a part of the Pepsi generation. My generation is what they considered lost. They try to push us into a whole different place because we're the generation that's supposed to be the game changer. So they're trying to keep, you know, the power in our parents, you know, by killing the children, by doing all types of things and forcing the parents not to retire and to stay in politics until they die. And they'll continue to be used as catalysts to make sure that nothing changes. Because when they select you, you're no longer part of the community. When they come for you, you really have to have that conversation. Now, I know without a shadow of a doubt that Kevin Samuels was asked, you know, to do something for others, meaning now YouTube, you doing your thing. That's your money. That's your bread. But then you have people who raise money or who are in the entertainment business and they want to hire people because they see dollar signs. Let me, you know, get him on our team. So this is why I'm getting in front of this, and I'm going to keep the same energy until we find out, you know, not on a daily basis, but, you know, we'll just tap back and forth. And I'm going to start doing these things, what we call backstories, and start talking about things in the past that they want us to forget. Just like that pretty beauty queen, you know, Miss USA supposedly jumped out of a window in New York, and we haven't heard anything else about that. They tell us what they want us to know. But when you are high value or leveling up or, you know, moralist type human being, it doesn't pass the smell test. Because like I said, that could have happened to me. All things have purpose. You know, my spider senses kick in when I'm doing things doesn't feel good. If it don't feel good, I'm not going to do it. Now, I know when you find yourself in a situation and then, you know, there's monies involved and then you got to pretty much play the game the way the game is played. This is when you get compromised. You know, believe me, I've been in situations not in, you know, in the internet world or in the social media world or in the influencer world, you know, but as, you know, dealing in the mortgage game, you know, I had to do some deals, you know, that was suspect in a time where suspect deals was a part of the game. Stated income, stated assets. Okay, let's run that all day. And then when I needed that money to eat and pay my bills and in my car notes and whatever I was doing at the time, you might, do something that might be a little uncomfortable, not illegal, but, and then over time, you could get comfortable, living a lie, but the market crashed and was forced to change careers, and now they're switching back. So we're going to see what happens this time around. But man, why did they kill this brother? I know that doesn't make sense, because a lot of us could sit back and say, we know why. But that could be me. And this is why I'm looking at it like, if I'd have blew up doing something and was forced to be, out there too fast, and I'm sure they'll send one just as fine, just as bad. And this is why we need to be protected. This is why we need community. This is why we need, our, moment in time. Because we need to be with the right people. We need to be protected. We need to be, sequestered in a communal family environment that's happy. We don't want no enemies. People will kill you just to protect their lives. I know I'm not the only one. You be around some people that you never knew, but your people know those people. And eventually somebody say, hey, man, nigga, you cool than a motherfucker, man. You ain't nothing like they said. Exactly. Because those are the haters. And like I say, it's always like that. It's always like that. You roll up to an environment. I remember when the Chrysler 300s came out and somebody rolled up in the Phantom. Yeah, you was a real one until that real nigga showed up. And that's real. But man, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. And it's crazy. And like I said, I'm going to just go ahead and just share a little bit about what I've heard. I'm not confirming anything, but a fans only, Asian, biracial female who's supposedly be a registered nurse. And that's the creepy part for me. Because if you was a nurse, ain't nobody dying in your presence when it comes to heart failure or anything like that. You're going to keep them. You're going to keep that heart pumping. You'll keep that blood flowing. But I think the world needs to hear from her. She needs to do a press conference. They need to confirm and validate these findings. Because just like any other death, man, it's suspect. And they do kill people. Why presidents don't drive around in convertibles? Why the Pope drive around Rome in a glass bubble? Because they will kill you just to promote their point of view. Just like right now, tomorrow, we're going to be talking about abortion, the fight to abort babies, the fight to kill babies, and why they mad about that. So that's tomorrow. And that's going to be, something that really going to enlighten a lot of people, because we're going to keep it 100 tomorrow. We're going to keep it 100 tomorrow. But man, this is crazy. They killed that brother. Until they show us otherwise, we're going to throw Miss Celeste in there as well. And Celeste is the Miss USA, who was apparently 33 years old, who jumped out of a 42nd floor high rise in New York, and it went right up under the radar. I saw a story where, this particular area was the only part of the building that did not have cameras. Yeah, right. They're in the business of doing that. So who is it? We don't know, but they like to be pronouns, right? So them, they, we're going to find out who them, they are. But we're going to have one sheet of music. I'm telling you. And it's falling right in line. Just looking at the world. Going into 2024, it's going to be a nice little run for Black America. Because everything that they're doing right now is to try to keep us from raising the bar and achieving and leveling up to the highest level. And that's a moralist movement, not Moors, Moors, moral, moral, like our values. You see what I'm saying? And this is why they killed him. Why would you speak into the spirit of a man? Why would you give a man hope? Or why would you say things the way a man would say it if he can't say it himself? Why would you make them think that they're special? And then our women, the ones on the demonic spectrum, on the side that's adversarial. And if you're a woman who say you like to play devil's advocate or let me play devil's advocate, you are basically advocating for the devil. And your portion is coming soon. So anybody that's wishing death upon anybody, hey, I would think twice about that, because I've seen a lot of my classmates in the woman form die. Younger than me, just a year or two older than me. And all we sit back and say, man, God bless them. Because we get into an age where it happens. So I can understand why people can say, well, 57-year-old man, heart attack, he had Viagra and cocaine and all that. But at least give us the real. Give us some type of press conference, because maybe he did not mean anything to social media in the world, but he was a threat to have 1.4 million followers. More people listen to Kevin Samuels podcast or Kevin Samuels show on YouTube than people looked at CNN. Then some people looked at the Ayanna Van Zant and all of this stuff. And then it's making alpha males stand up and say, you know what? I'm going to be the man that I'm supposed to be. Why? Because they're not out here seeking after me. Believe me, black alpha males were targets, man. And I have brothers say, man, if I was you, if you was me, nigga, you would have been dead already. You ain't me. Alpha male has nothing to do with size. It has to do with heart. I'll fight with a little dog with a lot of heart than a big dog with no heart. Real talk. Real talk. So with that being said, man, that's my time. Time flies when you're having fun. But, man, we're going to pour out a little liquor if you're drinking it, a little water, a little something, man. Because, man, they killed our brother. They killed our brother because he was flipping the script. He was flipping the table. And this is why I posted, one of his last videos on my timeline on my Facebook, because he was holding both sides accountable. There has to be a method to the madness. To basically become something, you might have to dismantle what's there. And we're going to have to dismantle what we have because it was built wrong. We left something out. But this time around, we're going to be full throttle, and that rudiment is going to be added. And it's going to be the blockchain or the semiconductor that takes us to the stratosphere. With that being said, man, have a good day. And you have just listened to the A Better Black America podcast, the #1 podcast stateside and worldwide. I'm your man, Bushan Glover. Until next time, peace out.